Hey yo, what's up y'all? So this video is going to be called You Never Have to Know If You Always Trust. And I got this topic this morning actually, and I got a bunch of downloads too on my phone that what we're creating here in Phoenix. But you never have to know if you always trust. What does that mean? And this is very unique for somebody like me where I carry all the clairs. I'm clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairsentient, and clairaudient. I don't think I said that one, but you guys get all the clairs. But claircognizance is one of my strongest one, and I always know. But God's been playing these games with me lately where he hasn't been telling me to know, and I instantly knew, funny enough, that it was a trust fall, right? And that's what I want to share with you today is trust. Trust is one of my 4 core words, being vulnerability, connection, trust, and love, in that order, right? Because when you trust, this is saying that you don't need to know anything. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And as soon as you feel the intuitive ping to act, or you get that little poke, like my brain's always empty. I'll get a little like, Chris, you need to do this, and I act on it, right? And I trust it endlessly to the point that as you guys probably saw in another video, and if you didn't, on Sunday morning, so a few days ago, I booked a flight to Phoenix, and I did it out of the blue, and it felt right, and I trust it, and then came here and have had a very transformational experience. Not your typical sunny one, but it happened in its own way. But this whole process, I just trusted, even though everything seemed that it wasn't working or gonna work out for me in my reality. A year ago, I would have been like, nah, we'll just stay here and suffer and just be bored. And that wasn't the case this year. I trusted it. I was like, fuck it. We got a Frontier Go Wild Pass. Let's get that $15 flight and figure out how we're gonna pay rent this month, because I got a test and it was like, even though everything's been going well for you and you've been building and you're building your dreams and all this stuff's happening, you can't pay rent. You're $400 short. And I was like, I'm just going to trust it's going to get paid and paid on time. And it did. And I had to jump through a lot of obstacles and hoops. And when one problem got solved, another created, and then another one got solved, another one got created. And that's been the rhythm, but it hasn't thrown me off. And I'm able to film these videos, and I'm actually very grounded. I'm sitting on the ground, and it came to me as like a moment to share this with you and just create clarity for you. And somebody watching, maybe in 222, is like, what do you need to trust right now? Because everything will work out for you. And what I want to share with you here is like, look backwards on your life and think of all those scary moments, those ones where you were like, oh man, this isn't going to work out, or like, oh man, this is going to be hard, or like, oh man, God's being mean to me. And it's never about any of that, right? It's like you simply need to grow, and you're being tested to see if you're going to grow. And if you do grow, then you get a reward. So Soleil Rod, one of the teachers that I learned from in Austin, Texas, he mentioned that it's called hold the tension, right? And holding the tension simply means like when you make a big wish or a big change, or you're leveling up to the next level, your nervous system, it might be used to holding it like this, and this is its capacity, and you need to be like this. And in order to expand like this, your nervous system, you gotta take a deep breath and go, and you just got to calm yourself down, even when your body's wanting to spin out, because if you spin out, you won't get the gift, and you'll have to go through the cycle again. But when you can hold the tension, connect to the breath, and exhale, you soothe your nervous system, and you start telling your body that it's okay, because your ego's over here like, this isn't normal, this is different, this isn't what we're used to, it's the unknown, right? Your nervous system is here to protect you, but you're trying to grow, so it's actually screwing you over. But when you can work with your nervous system and say, hey, thank you for protecting me, that's that part, we're safe, hold the breath, exhale, calm the nervous system down, we're gonna trust, because I created a wish, I'm doing something new, I'm growing, I'm expanding, I need you to expand too. And that takes a shit ton of trust. And even to the point in my reality that I think I shared in this video or previous ones, is like, when you're being asked to make your biggest growth, your biggest jump, that biggest change, everything in front of you is going to tell you not to do it. Even your nervous system, even your gut, But it comes down to, you're the master of your reality. You're the one in control. Even though you're not applying control, you have power. What are you going to do in this moment? And I'd encourage you to endlessly trust, because reality will bend us, right? And a good example of that is, if I'm not in this location that I need to be, all this shit's gonna happen to trigger me to go there. How I ended up in Austin, right? I should have been there a year before, but I held the break, and then life happened, and I was like, we're going this time, right? And I went, and it was magical. But on the other side of that is like we can bend reality too. And a lot of people don't know that, but it's like if you trust something so much that you know it's going to happen, but you're like open to the possibilities, you're able to hold the tension, you're able to keep your nervous system calm, stuff works out for you as long as you're not martyring or manipulating reality in order to force it to work for you, right? There's a difference between force and power, which is a whole nother video. But if you do these things, it's called the zone of possibility, as Soleil said. And I love that word because if you're able to hold the tension, you're able to trust, you don't have to know everything. And then magically, it'll all just go and it'll happen. And that's what happened for me, to the point that I planned on being here in Phoenix until Sunday to catch a flight back to Austin, or Monday to catch a flight back. But I ended up landing somebody on my offer, which solved the money problem for me. And then I'm flying back to Austin tomorrow at 6 a.m. Have to stop in Denver, which I knew I was going to do anyways, which is funny, and then go back to Austin, chill there for 2 days. Then I got to drive back to KC to work with that client. Then I have my grandfather's funeral that I'm magically going to be back in time for, that I knew I'd be back in time for. And then after that, I'm helping a friend move down to Austin, and she needed help and assistance. So like, see how all that, and it's funny that I told that part of the story now, but it's like all that happened because I trust. I took a flight to Phoenix. I did the work I needed to do. I talked to the people I needed to do. The transformation happened. Then rapidly, I'm like, what am I going to do now? I got to get back to Kansas City. And I had some more money issues pop up. And then I was like, and I went through the rhythm again, faster, quicker this time. I immediately asked for help. I immediately asked for what I needed, and it worked out. And then more people gave me help too, because I didn't, I forgot to unsend it. And it was cool to see how everybody in my reality is here to help me. I had to ask for help. It took trust. It took being calm, collected, holding the tension. Everything I shared in this video happened that is making this work effortlessly. And I will share this part of the video too. Intuitively, I knew all this stuff is going to happen, right? But I was like lying to myself. I was like, it'll work out. It'll be smooth sailing. Everything's going smooth. It wasn't. But it took the trust that everything would be okay, that we were going to be able to navigate it, that we were going to have to do stuff that we were uncomfortable with, which we were okay with, and knowing that. And then we did it, and it all worked out. And I just want to encourage anybody watching this video we'll give you some actionable steps here. Number one, trust. You don't have to know if you trust. If you know and trust, that's a bonus. If you don't know, trust. Everything will work out for you. Even the question I asked earlier is, think of all the worst stuff that's happened in your life, but did it actually, get done on time, and did it benefit you in a positive way from those terrible moments? Because I have another one I'll share that's just incredible in another video from healthcare. But if you can ask yourself that, look backwards in life and see, even though it came down for rent in my example, it was like 4 hours for the deadline. I'm like, oh man, that was close, right? It still got done. Time's not real. So did it get done? Yes. Ask yourself that in the past. And all those moments that got close, did it still get done? And then when something happened that didn't expect, did you see the hope, the glimmer, the positive aspects? Because even in life, like, the crappiest things that happened to me brought the best gifts. Like, I'll even share it here. It's like I failed a drug test as a nurse. Everyone's like, because I wanted to get out, and the universe, intervened. And I was actually like, yes, now I can get out of nursing. And that opened the door for me to become an entrepreneur. And that's why I'm here now. So it's like moments like that happen too. And it's always like, if you don't know why it happened, my best secret I could give to you, and this is a separate video too, is just like, I get really curious. I have a plan, and it's why I don't plan anymore, really. I just trust God so much and my intuition. But if I have a plan and it doesn't work out and I needed a plan, then I'll get curious as to, how it's going to work out for me, because my plan didn't work out. Something better has to manifest, and I'm really curious as to what it is. And when it manifests, it's beautiful, and it really shows you the magic of trust. It shows you the magic of the zone of possibilities. It shows you the magic of holding the tension. And I think I'm going to end that here. I think that really wraps up the summary. So number one, trust. You don't always have to know. If you know and trust, that's even better. Hold the tension, calm your nervous system, and just simply trust that everything's going to work out, and know that it will. And when it does, show some gratitude, show some praise, and share the message with somebody else who might need a lesson of how to trust, and trusting to know that everything will happen. Peace. If you guys have questions, as always, take that piece out. Drop it in the community, book a one-on-one with me, or connect with me in some way, somehow. I'd love to answer your questions, share some more wisdom, or even create more clarity as to this topic and how it's relating to your immediate life. Peace. Chat soon, y'all.